We're not. Hello, one. Hello, all. Welcome to the August 29th edition of Show Business. I'm CP. Joining with me, as always, is Peter. Peter, movie guy. Peter?
Take in the beard. Just admire it.
See, you have to say something that makes me chuckle,
I know.
at least to open. So
Fear the beard.
there was a bit of a slaughter this weekend, and it was kind of like we could see it coming from a mile away. Friday, I think I checked in with you, and I was just like, it doesn't look like it's going to be very close. I have so many images to show this weekend.
Yeah.
All right, so here it is. And Don't Breathe ran away with it.
26 million. Well, like I said, should have been around 25 million. 26. That's a good number for that movie, I think.
Right. Suicide Squad still holding on. That kind of makes me smile inside.
It does. Yeah.
As
much as all the critics are shitting over it, it's just people are still going to see it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at Jason Bourne is already at 9.
Yeah.
War Dogs already at 7. Like that just came out last week, man.
Yeah.
Like
Ben Hur at 10 because it's
like it's just brutal. Like 2016 more than, and I really hope that it's just some sort of weird anomaly. But 2016 more than anything, it's just like, all right, 1 week we're done with you. Next. And good for Suicide Squad for clinging.
Yeah, for sticking around.
Yeah, I mean, granted, it's a superhero movie. It's part of the magic too that seemed to always work, the superhero movie and the family animation.
Yeah,
but man,
everything else, man. It's if you noticed on that list, if you're paying attention, I don't know if anyone's in the chat or anyone's watching at home ever, but I picked Hands of Stone to be number 1, and I couldn't have been more wrong.
Right. Well, I'll bring that back.
Yeah, it's
what's funny is if you look down at the bottom there, it only brought in 1.7 million. It was in about 800 screens.
Yeah, 810.
Right, but what you need to note is the per theater average. If it were in 3,000 screens, it would have come in at about 7th.
Yeah.
Right behind, I think War Dogs, it would have finished right behind it if it were on 3,000 screens. So as much as you could say it didn't have the
screens.
It still wouldn't have hit the power a
De Niro movie about boxing to not even be in the top 5 on its first weekend. Well, even if it was per screen, like that's just sad.
Right. There's still hope for it though. But yeah, 2162 per screen. That's War Dogs did better.
Yeah, it's just, I was giving De Niro some love and some benefit of the doubt, and I don't know what happened there in any real way, so I got nothing.
Right. Well, what I was able to do with this easy blowaway was I was able to look into other numbers. I got the international weekend numbers.
Oh, really?
And this is what everybody but North America did. Jason Bourne pulled in 62 million this weekend. Ice Age Collision Course. What the fuck is going on?
Again,
50 million?
It's
what
Russia.
The shit? Yeah, that has to be mostly Russia. Secret Life of Pets just still dominating. Suicide Squad managed to beat. And Lights Out, which I'm hoping they just got it, because it's such a weird position for it to be in 5th. Ben Hur opened around the same time it did here, and even internationally, Ben Hur can't crack the top 5.
Yeah, it is funny. It's my dad yesterday was talking to me. He goes, "Hey, did you see what the number 1 movie in England is?" And I was like, I don't know. And he said, "Oh, it's the same as the number 1 movie here." Now, what he meant was the movie that is number 1 there was number 1 here. Like, he didn't mean right now, but I thought he meant right now. And I'm like, so Don't Breathe. because it would have made sense that way. But he's like, no, he's like Finding Dory, and I was like, what? And sure enough, Finding Dory didn't open until 4 weeks ago in England. And so
it's been number one for 4 weeks in England.
Suicide Squad. It came out and it was number one, and then Suicide Squad took over, and then it went back to being number one after Suicide Squad.
That's wild.
So I'm like, it was out 11 weeks ago here, and it's only been out 4 weeks in England.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, that's weird. Why would they get Dory late? I don't know.
What's strange is with the advent of the internet and the ability to transport high gigantic files within minutes, hours if need be. Why do we still have this weird setup where something is released months later in a different part of the world?
Because that's like, more than 2 months later,
right?
That's like almost 3 months later, like straight up.
I think with the internet, like you're actually shooting yourself in the foot, because Twitter is universal, Facebook is universal. We get something, in June, some schmuck that follows one of us sees that we saw, Finding Dory in June. They get all antsy about it. They got to wait till August to see it. Turns up, they forget about it. It's not that big a deal to them anymore because guess what? It's not a part of the daily cycle on their social feed.
Yeah, where they're going to hear about it, because that now is 11 weeks old.
Right. So you would think, whether it be, you email it, next day if it's, a hard drive or something like that. But if I were studios, I would try to get these dates as close as possible because of that reason. Because
I don't understand why it's still this thing. Now, I understand certain movies, like there's stupidity because of certain movies. Like Britain has a ban, we talked about this before, has a ban on ninjas. And so
an absolute ban?
Yes, you can't have, so no movie may mention a ninja, have a ninja in it. Ninjutsu was banned, like you couldn't practice the art of ninjutsu. You can practice karate, but you couldn't go to ninja school or whatever, like ninjutsu. And so because of that, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are actually called Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. And so they have to take that movie and then take any aspect of the ninja out of it. So anytime anyone says ninja, they'd have to replace it with hero. And so little things like that I could see taking, okay, maybe we need to go a week later. Or if they're smart and they realize this, like, people are on their game and doing their job right, they'd be like, okay, as we're like, we have a month till that movie's coming out worldwide, we have to fix it for England so they get it at the same time everyone else. It's like, but, or like, I don't know, strange, like, again, there's probably movies that have like mention a ghost that China won't show because they mention a ghost, so you could take that one scene out that really doesn't like affect the whole movie as a whole, and like so that they could at least show it in China. But it's like, oh no, well, that one scene is going to screw you up. It's like, so. But other than that, there's no real reason a movie shouldn't be just shown all across the world at this point. I don't understand.
And with those two, we combine the international and the North America, and Jason Bourne still ends up being number one because, well, over here, Don't Breathe only made 28
million, which is respectable, but
actually, no, I think it made 26. It made 2 million somewhere else. So, otherwise, Suicide Squad kind of jumps a little bit because it's still being shown around the world. Yeah. And the numbers basically reflect the international numbers.
The actual worldwide market looks like today.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Not much different. It's strange. It's really strange that Jason Bourne lasts longer worldwide than it does in North America.
Although, did Jason Bourne, has it been open as many weeks worldwide?
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Is this its first weekend in most of the world? and that's why they're all going to see it now. Or
I did not look into that. That's a hell of a point.
Because if Jason Bourne might not have been out last weekend in wherever. So.
Ice Age, I know, has been out for a very long time. For some reason, that's like Pixar to Russia.
Russians love their ice. I don't understand. They love their squirrels.
So something that Jim brought up last week, I decided to make a segment here. There is no real names in Don't Breathe. So I decided to go with Jason Statham because he's in The Mechanic Resurrection.
Yeah.
And we're going to go over his history, and he's not really that strong as far as the box office is concerned. Furious 7 is the only real big power hitter.
He's not the main character.
Right, exactly.
He's the villain.
You could basically say the same thing for the Expendables too. Yeah. Expendables 34. I mean, Spy. He's he's kind of a bit player in all of this shit. Except the one.
No, he's not. No, the one. He's the partner to Jet Li. So that's a Jet Li movie, not a Jason Statham movie.
That's hysterical.
So Transporter is him. Death Race is him. Transporter 3 and The Mechanic and Crank and Mechanic Resurrection is him. Furious 7's not him. Expendables is a team thing. Spy is a Michael McCarthy movie that has him in it. Expendables 2 again is a team thing. Italian Job is a Mark Wahlberg movie if it's anybody's.
Right.
So you don't get a Jason Statham movie in that list until number 7, which is Transporter 2.
Right. So he's not. We talked about Will Smith a while back. Somebody you would not put in the Will Smith category is certainly Jason
Statham. Yeah. No, he's good for doing an action film for you that will cost you $15 to $20 million to make, and it'll make $50 to $60 million when it's done its run. And so it definitely will make back its money and be good. And but no, he's not a big time star where you can put him as the main actor and it's gonna be massive. Because Furious 7 he's the villain.
Right.
If you who went to see him for that? They went to see The Rock and they went to see Vin Diesel. So
it's just strange that there's such a drop off. It's and it's funny if you were to give me 5 names and say give me a big action star, I would think of him at least somewhere in that top 5. I mean, sure, Tom Cruise is a big name, but he's a guy that you don't need a stunt double for. He's a guy that you I can point to a scene where you see him, doing the thing. Yeah. But
okay, can you name me an action star that is also a very good actor? Who would you if I was dude, I want to do a movie with a big name star who can do action but can also act. Because Jason Statham's is an okay actor. He's not bad, but he's not winning any awards. You've never gone, wow, that was an incredible Jason Statham performance.
Well, Tom Cruise would be one.
Okay, that's fair.
Action. Why? Do you have somebody in particular you have in mind?
Well, it's I was having this conversation with someone about the fact that they're why is Matt Damon in a movie called The Great Wall? Why is he's a white guy why is he in this Chinese? And I'm well, this is a movie made by China with Chinese money, with a Chinese director and Chinese stars. Except China wanted to have one big name action star that could act, and so they picked Matt Damon. And I'm that's actually reasonable when you look at the Bourne movies and stuff, and some of his other films that he's done, where he's done some action. So I'm that's actually not unreasonable that you would pick him. I'm who else could you pick? Tom Cruise would have also worked, I think, if you're looking for a big time action star that
he was already
act.
in The Last Samurai too.
And he's already in The Last Samurai, so that's kind of like we're double dipping. I know they're different countries. I know China and Japan are different countries, but still, it's just if you were looking like, do you want to, like, because if you're just looking for an action star, oh, Jason Statham in The Great Wall, but he's not a draw the same way Matt Damon is a draw. Matt Damon has star power. Matt Damon is a draw. Right. He can act. He can do action. He's shown us this with the Bourne movies. He's shown it with some other movies. So,
well, it's strange.
It's just
we don't
that's
we
a
don't
very
have that. We don't have that $100 million name anymore, though. It used to be. It was Tom Cruise a really long time ago, and then it was Will Smith, and now it's I don't know.
Now you're more likely to get like, what's his name? We talked about him last week. The other guy in Magnificent Seven.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah, Chris Pratt is more.
He's probably close now.
Is pretty much close. Now, again, he doesn't have the acting chops that Matt Damon has, like, for credentials. Like, what has Chris Pratt ever been nominated for? You know what I mean?
And they brought this up when they were talking about redoing Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I think Chris Pratt is the closest thing to this generation's Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
and it, like, totally fits. Like, he's kind of hunky. He's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And he's not the greatest of actors, but you know what? You don't need that for the type of stuff that both of them do.
Yeah, it's true.
So, I would love to have Chris Pratt be the new Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I would be cool with that. I'd be totally down for that. So, but yeah, it was just interesting because I'm like, if you're China and you're like, okay, listen, we want a big action star, but we want a superstar. We want someone who is a recognizable face from Hollywood that can do action, that can also act. Who do you pick? I'm like, Matt Damon seems reasonable to me, actually. Like, because that's a pretty small list.
Yeah, today it's
Matt Damon.
I mean, and The Rock can't really act, though.
He's not. Yeah, The Rock is a big action star, but he's not an actor the same way Matt Damon's an actor. Like, he's not like, and he is, like, don't get me wrong. Anyone who's like, The Rock can act, I know The Rock can act. But Matt Damon, like, was an actor first, and then he learned to do action. Right, so it's like he's become, it's like same with. I'm not going to compare him to Vin Diesel either, because, again, it's like Matt Damon's a very good actor.
Strange, so. we don't have the Sylvester Stallone, the Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
We don't have those people.
Kurt
today.
Russell, you don't have a big pool of them. So it's like, who would you pick? And it's like, Matt Damon, like, I don't know. So if you're in the chat and you're thinking about this, let us know who you would think would be an A-list star that can also do action that would helm that movie, because I can't think of anyone else other than those two.
Right. So. Another bit of news that we got today. The movie world, or the world, we all lost Gene Wilder today.
Gene Wilder. I heard that on the way home. I was like, oh, frick.
Yeah.
Like, I love that guy.
I do too. It's unfortunate, but there's, he's old. He was 83.
Yeah. It's different when they are, when they're young or like in their 40s. Like, he's 83. He has been waiting. I'm not going to say waiting to die, but
yeah.
He like, do you know all about his wife and stuff?
His wife?
Yeah.
No.
He's married to Gilda Radner, who he did a bunch of movies with, and she died.
I thought you meant now.
No. She died several years back. A long time
ago, yeah.
And he's basically been a widow ever since. Like, he is, like, not, right. He kind of was like, yeah, that was the love of my life. I'm done. I'm waiting. He's like, I don't want anyone else. And so it's like, and he lived probably longer than he thought he would have. But yeah, so he's been waiting a long time to kind of be reunited with that. So, yeah, it's sad, but yeah, it's different than if it would have, like, Anton Yelchin dying.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on something, because so many people on Twitter, like a popular thing I keep seeing recurring is, 2016 is so horrible. Yeah. And it's like, all right, David Bowie kind of sucks. 69, he's probably got another decade and a half in him, maybe. But 83, and it's not like the guy had a full docket, man. It's not like you have 3 or 4 movies from him coming out anytime soon. The guy's been off the grid for 20 years? Yeah. Like, he's old. It was his time. Is it that surprising?
It's sad to hear, but at the same time, it's like, well, you're past 80.
Right. At this point, it's like if it's 2016 or 2024, you're going to have the same amount of Gene Wilder in the present as you would have in all of that time. So
it does suck that it's like, yes, this is
it sucks absolutely, but it's not like
the Oscar reel for In Memoriam is going to be like
rough.
It's going to be a rough year because like it just so happens this year we've gotten some big name talent like Bowie, Alan Rickman, now Gene Wilder, it's like we've gotten some hits, right? Like, and so it's like, but there is a difference between Bowie and Wilder and Anton Yelchin. Anton Yelchin died of a freak accident.
Anton Yelchin is a today. Oh my God, that sucks for right now. That sucks for our future. Yeah. Gene Wilder. He
wasn't doing anything now.
It sucks for legacy. It sucks like, oh man.
Sucks for his family. It sucks for like I said, I was like, oh, that sucks. But it's a little different, right? Like when you've had when and I'm not trying to be callous, but when older people pass,
I'm gonna bring it up.
When older people pass, it's just like, listen, you lived a good long life. When a 12-year-old passes, it's like, oh, you're 12. It's like that. But when someone who's aged up it's understandable. It's going to happen.
Exactly. Yeah. And again, there was nothing like he hadn't been. I don't think he'd been in anything this millennium
for years. He kind of once he and I think the nail in the coffin for him was when Richard Pryor died. Because I'm pretty sure Richard Pryor's dead, and they were really good friends. They'd done a bunch of films. Like my favorite Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor film is called "See No Evil, Hear No Evil," which, if you haven't seen, is just freaking brilliant. Gene Wilder plays a guy who's deaf, and Richard Pryor plays a guy who's blind, and they kind of get sucked into this murder kind of conspiracy thing. It has a really young Kevin Spacey who's really like just. You wouldn't recognize him.
I forgot he's in that.
Yeah, he's got a mustache and he's all British, and it's very funny. But it's such a fun movie, and there's so many fun lines in that movie and stuff, and it's just like it's great because they're like they play off the fact of like him being blind and him being deaf, and so it's great. So I'm hoping to watch that tonight with my daughters, take a shot.
Yeah.
Just because they haven't seen it, but it's sad, but again. It's to be expected that people.
It's sad for legacy's sake. Yeah. It's not. Oh my God, what's next from 2016? It's like, all right, yeah.
It'd be funny if you're like, Gene Wilder died. Oh, that's too bad. What of? Oh,
Yeah.
Armed robbery. Like
just
cocaine overdose.
Right, exactly. So it's just, I forgot which one.
He was skydiving and his pack didn't open. It's like, how old was he? 86.
Yeah, like somebody said, "What's next?" And it's just like, exactly. The guy had nothing on the horizon. Like, it's not like he was in the middle of doing 4 different. Like when Alan Rickman died. Yeah, it was just like,
oh frick, man, really? Snape died. It's like,
yeah.
It's like,
well, and again, we have 3 or 4 movies that came out after he died.
Yeah, after he died, that are still there. Of course, and in case anyone's wondering, when I heard Alan Rickman died, I did not think, Snape died. I thought, freaking Hans Gruber died. That's what I thought. Okay, just where anyone's like, you thought he no, he's Hans Gruber till death. Come on, literally. That's that. So, but yeah.
Yeah, if you're over on my other, Jesus, do you need a second there?
No, it's my wife.
I'll be paying tribute. I'm doing my 50 film Warner Brothers set, so I think I'm going to rearrange it and make sure that I watch Willy Wonka somewhat soon. Let's catch up with the chat as they were tagging along as we started talking about miserable topics. Fassbender, not big enough is the question.
Yeah, not big enough. Listen, acting chops, flipping act. I love Matt Damon, but I think Michael Fassbender would act him if those two had to go at it. Michael Fassbender.
Bigger cock too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I've never seen Matt Damon.
Well, I'm his body double, so. Oh no, you weren't there for that.
No, I did hear that. That made me laugh a lot. That you were his body double. Yeah, maybe you were his body double. Maybe in like Courage Under Fire, where he lost all that weight and stuff. That's when you were his body double. But,
yeah.
But no. Yeah, I did hear that. I thought it was funny. I was like, I wish I could be there for this part.
The character of Doctor Strange is not a big character in the Marvel Universe. See. Well, you're the comic guy. I don't know.
He is and he isn't.
What does that mean?
Well, he's big to the mainstream hardcore people. Is he big to the Marvel Universe as a whole? In other words, does my sister know who he is because she likes Marvel movies? No, he's not. Right? Like, so to the average everyday person, Spider-Man is the Marvel Universe. Iron Man is the Marvel Universe. Hulk is it's he's like Doctor Strange. Who's Doctor Strange? Like,
good point.
I would be interested if like I could go ask 100 people at the mall right now. Hey, what is Doctor Strange's first name? It's like I've given you his last name, Steve. Yeah, his first name is Steven.
Is it Steven? Okay.
Yeah, because in comic books they love alliteration. Peter Parker, Bruce Banner, Matt Murdock, like they love alliteration in comic books. And so yeah, Stephen Strange.
Terry Taylor.
Yeah, it's just they love doing that crap. But is he a character that the general public knows yet? No, he will be. After the movie, but
I don't know. I think this is the one. I think this is the one. And if it isn't, I'm just gonna bang my head in the wall because whatever.
So I just think, as a character, he's big in the. If you're into the Marvel Universe, everyone knows who like Strange is. But if you're not, if you just like, if you know from the general consensus of what the Marvel Universe is, you wouldn't know who it is. You'd have no clue. So.
So we might not. Patrick says we might not get a big turnout when it comes out. I agree, Patrick. Like I said, I think this is if we're gonna get one where people are like, I think this is gonna be it. And if it's not, like I said, it's Marvel simply can print money. Oh, Brian's here. Hi, Brian.
Brian, what the heck are you doing here?
Brian says Wilder has good innings. Yelchin is far more tragic. Innings?
Had a good innings. I guess means showings.
Goddamn Brit talk. What does that even mean?
Chesterfield.
Wilder had a good innings.
I'm guessing it's just showing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I got British descent. I don't even know that one.
Yeah, he had a good run of it.
Yeah, and he did.
Yelchin is far more tragic, and he's absolutely right. It's just cricket talk.
Cricket talk. He got 4 wickets, and then he ran and got what? I don't know. Who cares?
Sorry, stupid cricket term. Oh, see.
Yeah, it was. So it's
innings is baseball too, but I don't. That doesn't translate to baseball.
That's like saying he had some good at bats.
Yeah, he played a full game.
He had some good times at the plate. He won some games. It's good. I hate sports.
You're the one using the term, you doofus.
Yeah. I didn't bring it up. You brought it up.
For those who follow us, we're supposed to. What? Green Lantern tonight?
No, we're not. Yeah, I don't know. Was it Green Lantern tonight?
Supposed to do a movie. Brian is under the weather, although not under the weather enough to type to us. Interesting enough. It means he had more than his fair share. Yeah, I figured
I agree.
It was a sport term. Yeah, he did. He had a nice run of it.
Yeah.
But it's nice that you're watching us. Hopefully, you're having some nice chicken noodle soup or whatever you Brits have to feel better. Opium in tea or some shit.
Pints, Guinness.
I'm feeling a lot better. Well, then we're free.
Tough luck, and I'm not. I got plans tonight.
Oh,
dude, you guys said we weren't doing stuff. I said okay, so I made plans.
All right. Listen, it's fine. It's Brian's fault. Brian, if you want to do something,
if you two want to go do something, you go ahead.
All right. So I have more pictures that I made to show. So hold on.
Okay, show us.
So with Suicide Squad holding, I think it's fair to say that it should probably be in the top 5 next weekend, although I'm certainly could be wrong. If you look at the year, all you see is comic movie, animation, or family movie. Comic, family.
Comic movie and Disney movie would be more.
Oh, right.
Secret Life of Pets is the only one that stands out. That's not Disney.
Right. So yeah, I'm kind of praying just for the sake of just showing that it's a little bit, it's got some staying power. I mean, you look at these numbers, it's weird. They go from first to second, and usually, more often than not, they just skip third.
Yeah.
They fall from first, second, and then just drop off the face of the earth. Usually it's like fourth or fifth, and then they go bye-bye. What's strange to me is both Civil War and Batman v Superman were only in first 2 weekends.
2 weekends. Yeah.
Suicide Squad, in a stronger season, managed 3. I mean, granted, you think about Batman v Superman coming out in March, and there's really no excuse. There's really no excuse how it couldn't just run off a bunch of wins.
Yeah.
I mean, there's another number 3. Zootopia is actually part of that reason. Zootopia opened and knocked Batman vs Superman off. But like this list freaks me out because there's no Inceptions, there's no Back to the Futures, there's no insert drama here, no Forrest Gump. Like,
yeah.
When, if, how does this come to an end, or does it?
Don't know.
Is this movies now?
Yeah. Summer starts way early and is jam-packed with minimum. Like, I think in the summer, I think other than 1 week, we had at least 3 films every week coming out.
Now, oddly, Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. Well, that had one other film. No, it had one other film. It had the Bryan Cranston movie.
Yeah, but that opened to Wednesday.
Yeah.
They gave it the full weekend.
Yeah. But like, other than that, like, so it's like every week was like 3 films, 2 films, 3 films, 3 films, 2 films. And it's just, it flooded the marketplace. And again, superhero films and family films did well, but a bunch of other films that were great went, like, at least some were good, went unnoticed, some were amazing, such as The Nice Guys, which is out on Blu-ray.
Go show support.
Go buy the movie. Go buy the movie.
Right.
I want to, but I'm broke. But you should go buy the movie and watch it many times.
Go buy the movie for Peter.
Go buy it for me and send it to me, and I will give you a shout out on my channel when I ever make another video, whatever that is. But yeah, it's just, it was a summer chocked full of movies, like ridiculously so. They just, like, I'm not saying I want less movies overall, except I am. It's just less movies overall. Take some time, develop movies a bit better, and
give movies a chance at least.
Yeah, like, it's very hard for your movie. So it's like, Don't Breathe is first number 1. It's number 1 this weekend, but it's like, there's going to be stuff coming out next weekend and stuff. It's just, there's no gaps where it's just like, hey, we're going to release like 2 this weekend, then 1, then maybe 2, then 1, then 2, then, like, where it's like, it gives stuff a chance to breathe and grow without the major competition. So what you have is all the massive movies doing their share and everyone else just cannibalizing the hell out of each other.
Yeah, and what's strange is, listen, if it were like this, and at a 20-screen theater, you had, maybe at most 2 screens taking 1 movie, it would feel a bit more fair. But you have these things that are on 4 screens,
8
another
screens.
film. Yeah, like they. I mean, again, this is kind of repetitive notion here on this show, but like, if you have 3 movies coming out on a weekend, and let's call a spade a spade. The summer's kind of basically over now.
Yep.
The theater should be pretty clear and open for new movies. And then you have things where they're splitting a theater, where you have a 1 o'clock and then a 3 o'clock of the other show, and then a 5 o'clock of the first show, and then a 7 o'clock of the second show. Like you're fucking everything up by doing that.
Yeah.
And then what happens is it doesn't make enough money. People say this isn't good. Well, let's pull it. And then the theater says, well, we need to make money off the fucking popcorn that people are buying, and it's not making money, so get rid of it. And like, there's something that I like, Pop Star.
Another movie that I've heard is really good that came out and just flew out of theaters.
It made $9 million.
Yeah.
9.
It did. I think it was out like maybe 2 weeks, and then most theaters pulled it.
Right. The fucking movie's hysterical. I think it's. Yeah. I think I have it top 20 on my list.
A lot of people that I talked to that had seen it said they really liked it. They thought it was funny. It was smart. It was poking fun at all the right things.
Right.
It did nothing at the box office.
It was a thinly veiled mockery of Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Or Justin Bieber types, and it's spot on. It's really, if you like Saturday Night Live skits, if you like The Lonely Island, anything by them, because it's a lot of Lonely Island songs in there.
Yeah.
And guess what? If you like comedy, it was a fucking decent comedy on top of everything too.
And it was in and out. Yeah, in and out real fast. Same with Nice Guys. Same with there's a few other movies that I could probably, if I had a chance to look at the list, to be like, that was a good movie, and that wasn't given a shot.
Right. If you asked me the top movie of each genre, the top action comedy I would say is A Nice Guys. Didn't have a shot. The top thriller I would say is Green Room. Didn't have a shot. A lot of people, I didn't have a chance to see it because it wasn't out long enough. A lot of people are saying Neon Demon is the best horror
film.
Didn't have a chance to
see that. It's
right. And I'm in New York. Like, I can understand. Like, I feel bad for somebody who's in like Kentucky or some shit.
Yeah.
Like,
it's and then they wonder why people torrent movies and crap like that. It's
exactly.
I don't understand why people are illegally downloading crap. I don't know, because they don't have access to it where they should, and they pay their $8 and go see the freaking movie. Instead, you're making them steal it. And again, there will be people who steal it anyways, but
you're not going to prevent that at any cost.
Yeah.
But again, something that I'm going to experience either this weekend or the weekend after. The theater that me and Brad frequent, they just we couldn't get regular food this past weekend because they're installing a kitchen.
Nice.
They're going to have like dinner food now.
Wow.
And so theater chains are trying. They're at the very least they're trying to nullify the dinner and a movie. They're trying to make that all in one house.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, if you go to the same spot and get dinner and a movie, you're more likely to go. And even if the movie sucks, you're like, well, at least, we had a night out. We had a good dinner. If you could do that all in one spot, perhaps you're more likely to go experience something. And I gotta applaud the theater chains, especially the one that
they're trying.
Right.
Like I said, with the 4D and then the IMAX and then they're trying everything they can to try and get people in the theaters. They're trying to get new audiences, like I said, the teenagers and stuff. They're trying everything they can get because they're the ones with disposable income because their parents are paying for everything. It's just, and I hope, like my fear is that 10 years from now, movie theaters are few and far between, and
they're going to be like drive-ins.
Yeah, like most multiplexes will close down, and which will really, like everything, like Green Room, like all that stuff, will be like, straight to like video on demand. It's like, brand new movie. Like, you're not going to get a chance to see movies in theaters. Like, and you will the big ones, but not the little ones. Especially.
What's frustrating is, I'm fine with that, but then if the theater chains aren't going to take the movies, if they're not going to screen them, then they got to stop fucking muddying the waters.
Yeah.
Because if I can't get Green Room at a theater by me, then let it come out.
Yeah.
Whenever it's available. If it's out in April and people can't see it, let me be able to buy it VOD. I don't care if you got to make it $30 or whatever. Like, stop getting in the middle of that shit. You were going to say something?
Well, I was thinking what they should do is really, if they should have some kind of package where it's like, listen, you can rent the movie, for $35 or $30 or $25 for a day.
All right, $10.
No. This is why. So like $25 for a day, you can rent it. It's yours for the 24-hour period. But for $35, you get the download of it, but you also get a coupon for a Blu-ray copy of it when it's released.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, because someone like me, I don't want just the digital copy. I want the Blu-ray copy.
Right.
So if you're telling me I can pay $35 for Nice Guys when it's in theaters and see it at my home for $35, and I get to keep it as a video copy, and when it's released on Blu-ray, you don't have to release it any sooner on Blu-ray, but when you do release it on Blu-ray, I have a coupon to get one for like as part of the deal, and I paid $35.99 for it. I'm willing to do that. Right. If I'm like, I don't know if I like this, or you can even upgrade it. So it's like you paid $25. Hey, listen, upgrade that thing. Like we have something stupid thing called the super ticket that they advertise every movie, where it's if you liked the movie you watched, you can upgrade, and it costs like $25 to upgrade or something, and you get a digital copy of the movie the minute it's released. Yeah. And you get like 500 points on your thing, and after you get 1,000 points, you get a free movie. So it's like we have this thing called the scene card. So it's like, and you get like one extra thing and stuff. So it's like, if you liked it, just pay this much extra, and you'll get a digital copy of it sent to you the second the digital copies are available, and you get all this this extra stuff. And so I'm like, I want a hard copy. So it's like, if you want to make me pay $35, $40. And I can keep it, like watch it the weekend it comes out on my TV and have a digital copy of it right then and there. And then when I can have a Blu-ray as part of that package. That's something I think they should look into doing.
Yeah, because, they have talked about it. I don't think that price point is something they're comfortable with, because $30, they're seeing it as, listen, nobody's going to watch a movie at home alone. You're going to be at least a couple. So $30. That's not strong enough for them. They're basically getting $15, and then they're basically giving you a Blu-ray for free. What the thing that they had that I think the theater chains were pushing, and sort of their last straw was, I think it was $35, and you got 2 free tickets to the local theater.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it kind of defeats the purpose. You want to do this to not go to the movie theater.
Not go to the movie theater.
It's a little odd.
See, mine is like, I want to go to the movie theater, but if they're not going to allow me to see the movie, it's like you said, the green room thing, where it's like, you're not going to let me see it. Okay, then give me the chance to freaking own it digitally, and then have that coupon thing to get it as a Blu-ray. Exactly. Even if it was $45 or $50, hypothetically, I would pay that, because if I'm going to spend, the average Blu-ray price here for a brand new Blu-ray is $24.99. Mm-hmm. That's what the average, $24.99. That's the average price for.
That's Canadian though, right?
Yeah, it's Canadian.
So it's like $18 US.
Yeah, so it's like 18 to 20 for you guys. Mm-hmm. So if that's the case, then you can even build that into the price and stuff. Like you give a little discount out of that. So again, like maybe $5, whatever, I don't know, but it's like, so charge me the $30 for the movie, and charge me the $20 for the digital copy, or for the Blu-ray in advance and stuff. And like, I don't know. They got to do something like that if they're not going to allow you to see it. If they're going to be like, look, so we're only going to release it in 800 theaters.
Right. My thing for starters, if it's not going to be anywhere near me, at least let me rent it. I can't imagine that the studios are like, well, we released it to 800 theaters. If the people want to see it, they'll go see it. Yeah. Like that can't be. They can't be complacent with that. Like,
not many people will do that anymore. Like Lee is a guy who has a YouTube channel. Like Lee, if you don't know, Lee drove 2 hours to see Greener and stuff. And but Lee has a YouTube channel that he's promoting, and wanted to see the movie, but he also wanted to review the movie, and he couldn't do that unless he did the drive. So he made it part of his channel, right? Like, so he made it an event. He drove 2 hours to watch the movie, said it was worth it, came back. So he made a video out of that, right? But the average viewer isn't making YouTube videos like us, so they're not going to drive 2 hours to see a movie because they have no reason to. They'll just wait and like.
Well, yeah, that's another thing. People aren't diehard fans. Like word of mouth isn't going to be strong enough to drive somebody 2 hours to go see something. No matter like it could be, Citizen Kane, and people they're not gonna fucking waste 4 hours of travel to go see a movie that they could probably watch at home in 4 months. Like if you guys like it just seems weird how they're handling some of these things. Like you can make money, but you're just doing things so weird. Like movie theaters, they're trying to do the right thing by having exotic seats, the crazy 4D experience, dinner food in the house. But they're not showing anything like new. They have 20 screens. 8 of them have Civil War. The other 6 have fucking Finding Dory. And like it's like, guys, you don't get it that like the fact that this new thing of showing old movies is actually quite I don't know if it's successful, but it's enough that they keep doing it.
Well, there are whole theaters that's their shtick, right? Like, especially in New York, like there are theaters that only show old movies, and they're not hurting. Like they're doing okay because people will like, oh, what's playing this week? Oh, it's Psycho with Alfred Hitchcock. Oh, it's like what's playing this week? It's Casablanca, whatever. And it's like they're not dying. Like those theaters will last longer right now than the multiplexes will,
right?
Because they're showing something that people want to see. They're not asking you to drive ridiculously far to do it. They're making you pay an appropriate price. You get popcorn.
Yeah, they're not charging $15 to see a 50-year-old movie.
Yeah, so it's just I think if again I'd pay. There were movies I would gladly pay money to go see in the theater.
Right. Jaws, nine times out of 10, people say, "Oh, it was nice to see it on the big screen."
Big screen, Ghostbusters.
Right.
You got to see it on the big screen. I'm jealous because I haven't seen that on a big screen since I was a kid. I would do that if my local theater played that. I would go see it. So
they're doing The Shining in October.
Nice.
And I'm really kind of fired up for that.
Yeah.
Like, if that's working, you really have to embrace. If not independents, you got to give them some time, man, because those independents, word of mouth is what drives those things. Like, I don't know, 2 weeks just doesn't cut it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, as for
we've rambled on. How did we do this week?
I was going to get it. I have so many damn pictures this week.
I don't even know. I know Hands of Stone was not number 1. I know that much.
Yep. So last week I was empty. This week Peter was empty. We split the Ben Hur between the two of us. Ben Hur ended up going to 10th. I'm kind of ready for the summer to be over because man, we've really kind of started stumbling here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think, even if Hands of Stone was a major release, I don't think it would have. Like I said, it would have been in 7th. So
disappointing.
It's kind of bad when we've been doing this a long time. We're doing it like what, 5-6 months now.
Yeah,
and it's hard to predict still.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. Oh wait, I gotta get what's coming out this weekend. I have no clue what's coming out this weekend. I have to find it. Give us a limerick, Peter, while I find it.
Okay, once there was a man from Nantucket who I don't got anything to do. That's
I have no problem telling that story.
That's the thing I always go. I never get past that point. I did have a funny thing happen. I had a funny thing happen to me this week at work. It was like one of those things where you tell a joke and like you hear crickets. I had that happen to me, and the guy pointed out to me. He's like, "Wow, crickets, eh?" Because it's like what I said was, now I work at a place that's for disabled people. It's a day program, and when I was new to working in that industry, we had a guy that used to bite himself a lot where I was working. And now where I worked was a very lax place, not near like they weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing. I thought it was much more easy of job than it really was, but because of that and the way they treated some of the people, I thought it was funny, and I kind of said, the one guy bit himself all the time, and I said I want to teach him to say tastes like chicken afterwards. So every time he'd bite himself, he'd go, "Oh, tastes like chicken." And normally when I tell people that, they laugh. They think it's funny. And so I'm in the room with a bunch of professionals that do this for a living now, and it's much more high standard. And I didn't even think twice. I just like, someone said something about something that happened to them, and I said, "Oh yeah, I used to do this." And literally I said it, and like everyone just kind of like looked at each other, and I swear I heard crickets. And then the guy went, "Wow, crickets, eh?" So you shouldn't have said that joke. So there you go. There's my funny thing that happened to me at work this week while CP was looking for stuff.
Bias time. Ian Blacklock helped us out. So Morgan and the Light Between Oceans. The difficulty is Light Between Oceans is with Michael Fassbender.
It looks good.
It's a drama. It's a romance.
It's a drama. It's Alicia Vikander, Rachel Weisz.
Isn't Morgan limited though?
What the heck is Morgan?
It's a new thriller. Man, 2016 is the
I don't even know what
summer
Morgan
of
is.
horror, man. Let me tell you. It's synopsis.
I don't even know what Morgan is.
A corporate troubleshooter investigates a bioengineered child that starts to become dangerous.
I did see a trailer for that. This is with Kate Mara, right?
Yes.
Yes, that looks good.
I find her supper.
You find her what?
Supper. Gorgeous.
Oh, okay.
Supper as in dinner.
I'd never heard that expression before. I find her supper. I thought you said I find her supple, and I'm like, what?
All right, so Ian's telling me Morgan is out in 2,000 theaters. So you have that knowledge, Peter.
That's decent.
2,000 screens.
But I also have the knowledge that I couldn't remember what the movie was about.
So wait. Hands of Stone is probably getting bumped up to more screens than
it doesn't freaking matter. It doesn't matter.
You're right.
I'm not putting it in top 5. Forget it. Tough luck. You had your chance, De Niro. It's done. Retire your ass already. Just let it go. Apparently no one wants to see you anymore.
You see, you want to talk about if somebody passed away and people went,
see, if De Niro passed, and watch it tomorrow, he's going to pass away, and they're going to be like, YouTuber, bearded movie guy said, retire, De Niro. No one wants to see your ass anymore.
Yeah, that would
De Niro took his life shortly after that.
He fucking watched us and hung himself.
I start getting massive hate. People are hacking my account.
At least it get us some views.
De Niro killer. Just to be clear, I have all the respect and moral for Mr. De Niro and his body of work, and I don't hope he dies anytime soon.
Ditto.
In any way.
Guilt by association. So let me bring up
Here's the funny thing. They wouldn't mention me. They'd just say, CP of Well Like a Review said, suck it, De Niro, die.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It wouldn't have any bearing on me whatsoever. You get off the hate.
That's probably true.
That'd be funny. Okay,
yeah.
So, frick. So Morgan and The Light Between Oceans. Is that it? That's all that's coming up?
Yeah, and assume Hands of Stone is getting a couple more screens.
Yeah, I don't care about that. It's gone. Wow. Okay.
Do you have anything? Because I think I'll go.
Oh, you go. You go.
I'm going to say Don't Breathe Again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm then going to say Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
then Suicide Squad. Ouch. This is really rough. I don't like any of this. So then Light Between Oceans. And then
it's gonna be a freaking low.
It's gonna be a rough week.
It's gonna like.
I don't even know. And
if
then,
Don't Breathe does half, that's what? So that's 13.
Yeah,
13 million as your top movie would be sad, but I think you're accurate on that one.
I think I'm gonna say Sausage Party at 5. Something to note here that you people can't see at home. From 3 to I think 7.
Yeah.
That's not 8 million. It's actually 7.8. 4 is 7.6. 5 is 7.4.
Yeah, it's close.
7.
People.
Like there's 2 movies that are separated by literally $16,000. It was nasty from 3 to 7. So it's Don't Breathe, Morgan, Suicide Squad, Light Between, and Sausage Party. That's my 1 through 5.
Okay. I'm gonna freaking write mine down because I can never remember. Every time I'm like, what did I say? It's so. You ready for mine?
Go ahead.
All right. So Don't Breathe, number 1. Hands of Stone. No, just kidding. Okay, and go Light Between Oceans. There hasn't been a romantic movie in a while.
Good point.
Then I'm going to say
Words.
Suicide Squad. And then I'm going to say Morgan. And then I'm going to go with Sausage Party.
Wow. We're kind of similar. This stupid iPad doesn't pick up everything I wrote.
So, Don't Breathe, Light Between Oceans, Suicide Squad, Morgan, Sausage Party.
What was the second one? Light Between?
Light Between Oceans. Yeah, there hasn't been a romantic movie in a while. Last one was
Me Before You, right?
Me Before You, which did very well.
Did it?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it did. I don't know.
Does that? Can I? Yep. All right. So there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
In case
Yeah.
I normally my chicken scratch isn't as chicken scratchy as it looks, but the stupid iPad just doesn't tolerate any sort of anything. So there's our picks.
Me
what?
Before You, USD is domestic, right?
Yeah.
194 million.
What? All right, so
all
right, so it did all right.
it cost 20 million to make. So
man, that must have sat under the flowers, man. Because
it did. Man.
I don't remember us talking about it that much.
No, we did. I did remember the one time I was like, and the last one's going to be Me Before You. And you're like, what? And it was just it stuck around. It was like 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, and like forever. Because nothing was out around it that was a romantic movie. So every week people went and saw it that just never was in high up. So
it's basically the what's that movie that keeps floating right now? I can't even find it. Pete's Dragon is kind of like that.
Is kind of doing that. Pete's Dragon didn't do well its first week, and it still hasn't made its budget back.
Pete's Dragon?
Yeah. At least not domestically.
All right. So what we kind of grazed over really quickly There's kind of two that I want to talk about right now, and then let's the summer's basically over. Officially, it's over for Labor Day. Is that the? I always get it mixed up. Labor Day is upcoming, right?
Yeah, Labor Day.
Leave it to the Canadian to tell me what our holiday is.
Winter is coming.
So Ben Hur, we had a little thing where we were trying to pick what place it came in. I said 9th, Peter said 11th. It came in 10th. So
it came in 10th, so I think we split the difference on that one.
Right. So there's that, and then War Dogs opened in 3rd and was in 7th this week, and will probably be a 10th or lower next week.
Yeah, I think it'll probably maybe 10. It'll probably be at least 10.
What do you think is the reasoning behind? I don't know these. I mean, you
know what?
Popstar before
for that one,
Warcraft faded. What's that?
Yeah, for that one in particular, you want to know? I think killed it.
Which one?
War Dogs.
Go ahead.
Sausage Party.
Really?
I think it looked like a comedy. Like War Dogs looks like it looks like a comedy that like has some serious undertones, obviously, but it looked like a funny movie, and people decided to go see the sausage instead, the talking sausage.
It's funny. It's a really smart movie too. It's got a lot going on.
Apparently, it has a lot more. It's a lot more serious movie than people would think it is.
The undertones are tremendous for religion and like the meaning of life and stuff. It's all there. It's pretty heavy.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's what did it in. I don't know.
Okay. And other stuff like Popstar, Warcraft.
Yeah.
Why do you think these movies just die and don't rebound?
Popstar, I think adults just had no interest in anything that might be Justin Bieberish. I think World of Warcraft just missed its time. It's like, I think you released that identical movie 4 years ago. You're looking at a huge hit. I think it's just people are past World of Warcraft. I think people are done with that on a general, their subscription basis. I remember they said 4 years ago roughly was 12 million viewer or players, and now they have around 5 million players. So you've lost more than half of your players in that time. And you have I have friends that are still play the game that were like, oh, it's great, and other people are. I saw it and I couldn't tell what was going on. I didn't understand the movie at all.
Right.
So I did not see it. I can't judge it either way. I plan to see it sooner or later, but I think it was bad timing. I think they should have made that movie a couple years ago.
Okay, so this weekend upcoming, no one would argue that it's kind of a soft weekend.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the option. Well, you're going to have a chance. You're going to be an exec for any given studio.
Yeah.
And you get to re-release a movie for 1 week this upcoming weekend, starting Friday and ending Thursday. Which movie would you like to give another chance at the theater?
Nice Guys.
What was the box office of Nice Guys?
I would put Nice Guys out against what there's no adult comedies out right now other than Sausage Party and War Dogs.
Oh, War Dogs kind of counts.
Yeah, but it's a good promotional campaign that said, see the movie that you missed that critics are raving about, blah, 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 blah. That, now, of course, it just came out on Blu-ray, so I would have held that Blu-ray release back by a month. But
you're talking about other areas of the studio.
If we're just talking about one movie that if I had known and could say throw it at the end of summer for a 1 week engagement, I would have done that.
Yeah, Nice Guys opened to 11 million. It finished, the domestic gross was 36. It opened the week after Captain America came out, or 2 weeks after Captain America came out.
Yeah.
Just really, really bad timing, just an unfortunate set of circumstances, because it never really, the percentage of change, it was 40%, 40, 58, 51, 26, 11, 34.
Yeah.
it never really got its ass kicked. It just never had the right
It just
start.
didn't get a following. It just didn't get what it needed to kind of get its name out there. And it's my number, like, it's not my number one movie of the year, but it's in my top 5 right now, I would say. And it's the number one movie. If someone say, hey, like, what movie would you suggest I watch right now? That's the one I'd suggest.
Yeah.
So go buy it on Blu-ray. Go buy it and support it.
And Green Room too, because Green Room would be my pick. Yeah. And I would actually, enough time has passed, you can kind of be a heartless jerk right now and kind of
just
take advantage of the unfortunate news that befell Anton Yelchin and release the movie for just 1 week and say, we're going to donate half of something to somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know.
To the Don't Drive a Jeep Foundation.
Yeah, to the goddamn Jeeps are terrible. To that foundation. So otherwise, you have anything else for this week, Peter?
No. I'm looking, now that the whole summer's done. Basically. And I basically, I'll be honest, I've slacked off a heck of a lot this summer on my channel. And I'm okay with that. Because, it's my channel. I'm hoping to get back to some sort of a schedule where I maybe start doing Classic Tuesdays again on Tuesdays.
Yeah, and, you know what? And another thing is there's going to be a time where you're going to have to carry the show. I might have something because I'm going to be moving at some point soon, so I might need you to take over for at least a week or something. I don't know. So
I will try my best to fill that hat. I don't know.
Well.
I can't feel your Matt Damon shoes, of course.
I'll get to the artwork. I just need you to run the show. That's so, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, that's okay. Yeah, I have to get to some kind of regular schedule. Like I may be looking at starting up BMG Radio again for anyone who cared. And just there's a few things. I have a friend who's desperate me to start up my Top 7 Saturdays again. So I have a whole bunch of stuff that's kind of sitting there going, well, now that I have a day job now, so my life is a lot more structured. I may be able to go, let's be good and record 4 videos and then whatever. It's a hope. So that's, if you look on my channel in the next couple of weeks, you may start seeing a bunch of videos popping up. Other than that, I don't know. I got nothing.
Yeah, and as for me, if you don't know, I have a personal channel with vlog type stuff. It's called CP the Idiot. It's actually my channel. I'm running it. Just as long as you see me shooting videos that seem like they're vlogs from me.
I still got to subscribe to that. Hold on, I'm going to do that.
Yeah. So the openings are #CP the Idiot, and right now I'm in the middle of doing my Warner Brothers 50 film set. I'm doing all 50, and I just started Lord of the Rings, and I refuse to do them separately, so I started Fellowship, and I'm actually going to do Willy Wonka. So there's that. If you like Warner Brothers movies, and if you like hearing about me and my struggle to get food randomly, then there's that. That's basically where
there's a Playboy one. Oh, look at that.
Don't ruin it. Yeah, so there's a Playboy one too. So yeah, that's basically where I'm putting.
Subscribed.
Thank you, sir.
So there's that. Subscribed.
Yeah, and then we'll see you sometime soon. If not this very show, next week.
Next week.
Say goodbye, Peter.
Goodbye, Peter.